everyone. Today we're going to be doing yoga inspired by one of my favorite books, Harold and the Purple Crayon by Crockett Johnson. So let's get started.
One evening, after thinking it over for some time, Harold decided to go for a walk in the moonlight. There wasn't any moon, and Harold needed a moon for a walk in the moonlight, and he needed something to walk on.
So let's start by going for a walk in the moonlight. We're just going to walk in place, and we're walking in the beautiful light of the moon with our friend Harold. So let's make a moon. Standing still, reach your arms all the way out and up, and then interlace your hands at the top, reach your fingertips up, and let's lean over to one side like a crescent moon. And feel that nice stretch all along the side of your body. And let's lean over to the other side, making a moon that goes the other direction. Feel a nice stretch. Come all the way back and lower your arms.
He made a long, straight path so he wouldn't get lost, and he set off on his walk, taking his big purple crayon with him.
Let's make that long, straight path. So open up your legs nice and wide, reach your arms out to the side, point one toe towards the side, and make a long, straight path with your body. And now let's make it even longer. Reach forward over that toe, and then rotate your upper body. One arm goes down, one arm goes up, and now we're making that long, straight path with our body all the way up and out through our fingertips, and come all the way back up.
But he didn't seem to be getting anywhere on the long, straight path, so he left the path for a shortcut across a field, and the moon went with him.
So now Harold decides to take a shortcut. So now let's make a shortcut going in the other direction. Point your other toe out, reach with your fingertips over that other foot, and then rotate your upper body, bringing one arm down and one arm up. This is now our shortcut. So now we're reaching through our top fingertips up, reaching through our bottom fingertips down, spreading our body apart, making that nice long shortcut across the field. And come all the way up and lower those arms. And now let's toe heel our feet back together.
The shortcut led right to where Harold thought a forest ought to be. He didn't want to get lost in the woods, so he made a very small forest with just one tree in it. It turned out to be an apple tree. The apples would be very tasty, Harold thought, when they got red.
So let's make a tree. You can take one foot, bring it right alongside your other, and just let your toes rest on the ground. Or if you're a bigger kid and you want to try it, you can lift up that leg, placing it on the side of your leg, or you can bring it all the way up, your choice. Whoa, and then try to balance. Focus on one single spot. Bring your hands together right at your heart. And then we're going to reach our arms all the way up, making a big, beautiful tree, reaching your branches out like a big, beautiful tree. And Harold drew an apple tree. So let's decide what kind of tree we want to be. I think I'm going to be a mango tree this time. And my branches are swaying in the breeze. Good, and then bring yourself all the way down. Shake it all out, and let's do it on the other side. Let's be a different tree this time. So I'm going to stand on my other leg, and you're going to decide where your foot should be. Is it going to be down by the floor? Is it going to be up a little higher on your leg? Or are you going to bring it all the way up nice and tall? Bring your hands to your heart. Find a single spot on the floor to look at, and that's what you're going to focus on to help you stay balanced. And then reach your branches all the way up into the air. And decide what kind of tree you're going to be on this side. So Harold had made an apple tree. On the other side, I was a mango tree. This time, I think I'm going to be an orange tree. And my branches are swaying in the breeze. Good, and come all the way down. Shake it on out.
So he put a frightening dragon under the tree to guard the apples. It was a terribly frightening dragon.
A frightening dragon? Okay, let's come down onto our knees and let me see your most frightening dragon face. So show some big sharp teeth. Bring your hands up like this. Take a nice deep inhale and do a big roar like a frightening dragon. Rah!
It even frightened Harold. He backed away. His hand holding the purple crayon shook. Suddenly, he realized what was happening, but by then, Harold was over his head in an ocean.
That was such a frightening dragon that now Harold got scared and his hand began to shake, and before he knew it, he had made an ocean. So let's get swimming. So come down onto your tummy, reach your arms straight out in front of you, lift up your arms and legs, and swim, 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 swim. And swim around a shark, and swim around another shark, and swim up and over a whale, and swim, 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 and lower down. Oh, we made it.
He came up thinking fast, and in no time he was climbing aboard a trim little boat. He quickly set sail, and the moon sailed along with him.
Come all the way back up. And Harold thought fast, and he made a boat. So let's make a boat. So come onto your bottom, lift up one leg, lift up the other leg, reach one arm forward, reach the other arm forward, and look at that, we made a boat. And we're not just gonna make any boat here, we're gonna make a sailboat. So can you make a mast with your boat? And can you make a sail? So we've got a mast and a sail with our sailboat. And now we can sing, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Good job. Come all the way down. Whew.
After he had sailed long enough, Harold made land without much trouble. He stepped ashore on the beach, wondering where he was.
So now it's time to make some land. So coming up, opening up your legs nice and wide, bringing your hands to your hips, lift your chest, look up at the sky, and then bending over. Let's make a big pile of land. This is a nice big beach, and imagine that you're at the beach and you're forming a big pile of sand, a nice big mound. And now bring your hands back to your hips, lift yourself all the way back up.
The sandy beach reminded Harold of picnics, and the thought of picnics made him hungry. So he laid out a nice simple picnic lunch. There was nothing but pie, but there were all 9 kinds of pie that Harold liked best.
And now it's time to make some pie. So come all the way down onto your bottom, bring your legs out like a slice of pie, and we're gonna reach our arms all the way up and come all the way forward. And what kind of pie are you gonna eat this time? I think I'm gonna eat some apple pie. And reach your arms all the way up, and we're gonna go over to another side. So let's reach all the way over here. And now I'm gonna eat some key lime pie. And I'm gonna reach my arms all the way up, and now I'm gonna eat some cherry pie. Come all the way to the other side. And come all the way up, and then reach your arms down.
When Harold finished his picnic, there was quite a lot left. He hated to see so much delicious pie go to waste. So Harold left a very hungry moose and a deserving porcupine to finish it up, and off he went, looking for a hill to climb to see where he was.
Harold's tummy was so full after all of that pie, so he made a moose and a porcupine. Let's stand up and let's make a moose. So we're going to bring one foot forward and one leg back, and let's reach our arms up and make our antlers. And what does a moose say anyway? Does it say moo? I'm not sure, but let's say moose. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Turning ourselves around, bending your other knee, reaching up your antlers like a moose, and say moose. But Harold also made another animal. What animal was that? A porcupine. So let's come all the way down into a teeny tiny little ball. And porcupines have sharp, spiky quills on their back. So let's make some sharp, spiky quills with our fingers. And let's make ourselves into a tiny little porcupine, and let's eat some pie.
Harold knew that the higher up he went, the farther he could see, so he decided to make the hill into a mountain. If he went high enough, he thought, he could see the window of his bedroom.
So Harold made a hill. So let's come onto all fours and let's make our backs into a hill like this, rounding our back, making it look like a nice round hill. But that hill wasn't high enough. Let's try again. Round your back, make a nicer hill. Still not high enough. Let's try one more time. Make a really nice big hill. Still not high enough. So then he made that hill into a mountain. So tuck your toes, lift up your knees, and make that hill all the way up into one big mountain. That's a big mountain. And he made it so high so that he can find his window.
He was tired, and he felt he ought to be getting to bed. He hoped he could see his bedroom window from the top of the mountain.
And he's getting sleepy, so let's make a big yawn. Let's take another big yawn. One more big yawn.
But as he looked down over the other side, he slipped, and there wasn't any other side of the mountain. He was falling in thin air. But luckily, he kept his wits and his purple crayon. He made a balloon and he grabbed onto it, and he made a basket under the balloon big enough to stand in.
But as he looked down over the other side of the mountain, he slipped, and he was falling through thin air. Oh no, Harold! So let's make him a hot air balloon to sit in. So sit on your bottoms, cross your legs, making your legs into a nice little basket, and let's make a big balloon for the top of the hot air balloon right over our heads. And let's take a nice deep breath, puff up your cheeks, and then blow it out through your mouth. Blowing his hot air balloon through the air. Let's do that again. Take a nice deep breath. Puff up those cheeks and blow. Okay, I think he's safe now.
He had a fine view from the balloon, but he couldn't see his window. He couldn't even see a house.
Harold had a really nice view from his balloon. So let's take a look at what we can see. Reach your arms up. And lower one arm all the way back down and lean over to the side and look up and out and see what we can see. I can see a butterfly flying by. I can see beautiful clouds. I can see some trees and the wind blowing through the trees. And let's come all the way back up and let the other arm come down. And let's lean over to the side and let's look up and under our arm. And what can we see on this side? Some beautiful tall buildings. I think we're in a city now. And I can see a highway and cars driving on the road. And let's come all the way back up and then bring yourself all the way down.
So he made a house with windows, and he landed the balloon on the grass in the front yard.
So now let's make a house. So now we're going to stand on our feet, coming into a squat. And see if you can get your heels all the way down to the mat. Bring your arms on the insides of your legs and press your knees open with your elbows, bringing your hands right in the middle. And hey, this kind of looks like the roof of our house. So can you touch just your fingertips together like this, making the roof of the house? And look down, your legs are like the walls of the house. How cool is that? We made a house with our bodies.
None of the windows was his window. He tried to think where his window ought to be.
But none of the windows on this house are Harold's window. So let's stand ourselves all the way up.
He made some more windows. He made a big building full of windows. He made lots of buildings full of windows. He made a whole city full of windows, but none of the windows was his window. He couldn't think where it might be.
Let's help Harold find his window. Let's make a tall, tall building. So standing nice and straight and tall, reach your arms up, make a nice tall building. And imagine that there's windows all over your building. And now let's see if we can look into all the windows. So fold your body in half and look at all of the windows on your legs, on your knees, on your thighs. Are any of these windows Harold's window? I don't know. And let's reach our arms all the way up, making your tall, tall building again. And lower your arms. None of those windows were Harold's window.
He decided to ask a policeman. The policeman pointed the way Harold was going anyway, but Harold thanked him.
So let's point the way that the policeman was pointing. Open up your legs nice and wide again, bend one knee, and then point right in that direction where the policeman was pointing. Was that policeman helpful? Not too helpful, right? Because Harold was walking that direction anyway. So let's try the other direction. So bring one foot in, bring the other foot out, bend that knee, and let's point in the other direction. Maybe that's the way that Harold should be walking. Is this the right way? We don't know, but Harold is very polite. He said thank you to the policeman anyway, and he kept walking along.
And he walked along with the moon, wishing he was in his room and in bed. Then suddenly, Harold remembered.
So let's keep walking along with Harold.
He remembered where his bedroom window was when there was a moon. It was always right around the moon.
Harold remembers that the window is always right around the moon. So let's make that moon again. Reach your arms all the way up. Bend over to one side, making that crescent moon. And bend over to the other side, making that crescent moon on the other side. And his window is always right around the moon. So with your fingers, draw a big rectangular window right around your moon.
And then Harold made his bed. He got in it and he drew up the covers. The purple crayon dropped on the floor and Harold dropped off to sleep.
And Harold was ready for bed. He drew his bed. So let's have a seat. Let's lay our bodies all the way down. Draw up the covers. That means pull those covers up and over you. And then drift off to sleep. But in our case, instead of sleeping, we're going to be meditating. So let your eyes close. Let your body relax.
And let's imagine that you had your own big purple crayon and you can draw amazing things and you can have an amazing adventure just like Harold did. and you can draw yourself a peaceful, relaxing place. And imagine that you're drawing with your big purple crayon a beautiful, fluffy cloud. How comfy it would be to lay on that cloud and to go for a ride soaring through the air. Noticing the beautiful blue sky above you, feeling so peaceful and relaxed.
And let's stretch just like we had a very good night's sleep in our own bed. Hug your knees towards your chest. Rock yourself all the way up to sitting. And we end our wonderful class by saying Namaste. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste.